ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be reviewing Underwater Cities, a fantastic game. And as I said here, let's get one thing out of the way. This is a really, really good game. I'm not sure if I would call it great, but it is really, really good. Uh, it takes a lot of. Do you like the splash I do as a segue there? This game really takes a lot out of you. You have to be thinking on your feet all of the time. There's no time that you can just kind of relax. One thing to be sure is that the iconography, the board, the cards, everything is extremely clear. There's no doubt in what options you have going forward. I do have a lot of bit bowls so that I can keep all of the pieces separated because there are a lot of pieces in this game. Not overwhelming, but enough. The art on the cards is extremely original. It gets you into the theme. There are many cards in this game, and unless you play this a lot of times, I don't know if you could memorize what's coming up next or what the possibilities are. But each card also has a very individualistic appearance, so it doesn't get boring. And as you can see, there's text on all the cards, so you can remember what they do. It can get very chaotic on the table, especially as you what they call claim cards. You have to try to remember, oh, I have this advantage and I can use this now, and uh, should I go with this strategy? Should I go with that strategy? But as you can see here, the iconography on the cards is also very clear, so even if you can't remember what it means, they still have text on most of them. And yeah, the cards can get really overwhelming when you have to try to remember 12 or 13 different things that you have acquired over the course of the game and when's the best time to use it. The player aid is an absolute essential. It helps you plan ahead. The cost of things isn't so complicated, but when you could do upgrades of various things and two upgraded things and what they give you and what the advantages are, it's a very handy tool so that you could plan ahead intelligently. And even if I play this game 20 times, I imagine I would still be using the player aid every time. The achievement cards that come out at the beginning of the game, there's so much chaos in the game regarding, and I should say maybe chance, because you don't know what cards you're going to get in your hands. You're trying to constantly tactically change how you're going to go forward to meet your strategy. And the fact that on top of that, there's these other achievements that seem to just happen if they happen, rather than really trying to work towards them. I think that's a little bit too much to really consider in a game with this much chance. But overall, when you're done with the game, regardless if you win or lose, and that's even in the instructions, you have to admit it's really satisfying to see how you built your city and connected everything and built upgrades and connected to the mainland and then compare this with what your opponent did. It's a tremendous amount of fun. And you'll notice I said opponents rather than opponents, as I've only played this in a two-player game, but even so, it's over 2 hours long. I'm not sure if this would be great with four players. I watched a playthrough on YouTube that had four players, and no one really enjoyed it at that player count. I'm going to try it at three, but it works wonderfully at a two-player game that's a medium to heavy Euro, and I would really recommend this to anybody. It's a 9.0 in my opinion. 9.0 is my final rating.